James Potter. The Whispering Woods. Written by James Pullen. 2025. The vibrant energies of Eldergrove continued to hum with a profound and renewed sense of purpose for James Potter, Lily, Caliban, Sir Duke, and Astra. Their recent, hard-won triumph over the insidious Van Dork, coupled with the profound understanding they had so unexpectedly gleaned from the Herba Mentis, had ignited a deeper, insatiable curiosity within each of them. Now, under the insightful and encouraging guidance of Professor Elowin, their next grand expedition beckoned, drawing them further into the unknown, a highly specialized foraging mission deep within the enigmatic heart of the Whispering Woods. This wasn't merely a pragmatic search for rare botanical specimens for a class, it was an earnest, heartfelt quest to decipher the very lexicon of the ancient forest, a journey not just into a new place, but into the very soul of its mystical, unspoken language. As they stepped across the invisible threshold into the Whispering Woods, the world around them underwent a profound transformation. The pervasive light, filtered through an impossibly dense, towering canopy, took on a soft, ethereal emerald hue, casting dappled patterns on the forest floor. The air itself grew thick with the rich, earthy scent of damp, fertile soil and the sweet, almost intoxicating aroma of unseen, exotic blossoms. The trees here were unlike any they had ever encountered before, their gnarled, ancient branches intertwined like the embrace of countless arms, forming breathtaking, cathedral-like arches that stretched seemingly endlessly towards the heavens. An almost profound, sacred silence enveloped them, broken only by the gentle, rhythmic rustle of countless leaves stirred by an unseen, ancient breeze and the ethereal, resonant, distant calls of creatures unique to this deeply enchanted realm. Their well-worn path soon dissolved, however, into a formidable and seemingly impenetrable thorny briar patch, a sprawling, interwoven wall of dense branches and needle-sharp thorns. It pulsed with a subtle, almost sentient energy, clearly indicating it was far more than just a natural, happenstance barrier. This briar isn't just growing wild, Caliban observed, his fingers instinctively recoiling from the surprising sharpness of a particularly menacing thorn. There's a deliberate, almost conscious force at play here. It feels protective, almost vividly alive, guarding something unseen. As they paused, strategizing their next move, a sudden spark of movement caught James's keen eye. A tiny, luminous being, no larger than his thumb, flitted forth from the very heart of the briar itself. Its delicate, translucent wings shimmered like captured starlight, catching and refracting the emerald light, and its diminutive skin glowed with the pristine luminescence of morning dew. This was their very first, breathtaking encounter with a whispering sprite, a guardian of the woods. Soon, a multitude of these miniature, iridescent guardians emerged, their collective voices a melodic chorus of countless, tiny chimes, too subtle and high-pitched for the ordinary human ear to fully decipher, yet undeniably present. "They're not just making sounds," Astra whispered, her innate sensitivity and connection to magical energies allowing her to perceive the nuanced, intricate shifts in the sprites' radiant auras. "They're trying to convey something profound, a crucial message directly from the forest itself." With Professor Elowin's patient guidance and her deep understanding of magical creatures, and by intently observing the sprites' intricate aerial dances and expressive, almost mimed gestures, the friends slowly, painstakingly began to unravel the sprites' unique, non-verbal form of communication. It transcended spoken words entirely, relying instead on a profound, almost telepathic, empathic connection to the very essence of the plants. The briar, the sprites patiently revealed, was not malicious or aggressive, but simply deeply fearful, a living entity reacting defensively to perceived threats or sudden, loud intrusions. Through careful, gentle touches, soft, reassuring whispers, and a profound empathy, they learned to soothe the plant's anxieties, and to their astonishment, the dense, formidable thicket of thorns slowly, deliberately, began to part, a silent acknowledgement of their peaceful intent, revealing a clear, welcoming path forward into the deeper woods. This pivotal, almost sacred moment marked the true commencement of their extraordinary education in plant whispering. The sprites, clearly delighted by their students' open-mindedness, respect, and eager willingness to learn, became their devoted and patient mentors. James and his companions immersed themselves completely in the deep, verdant heart of the Whispering Woods for what felt like an eternity, losing track of days as they learned to interpret the subtle, almost imperceptible rustle of individual leaves, the ancient, resonant creak of massive, gnarled branches swaying in the wind, and the nearly imperceptible, vital vibrations of countless roots delving deep beneath the rich earth. They discovered, with growing awe, that every single plant, from the smallest moss to the tallest ancient tree, held within it a unique story, a complex tapestry of memory woven into its very fibers, and occasionally, a silent, poignant plea for understanding or much-needed assistance. Their senses sharpened, their minds expanded, and they began to see the forest not as a collection of individual plants, but as a vast, interconnected, living library of knowledge and emotion. As their mastery of plant communication deepened, enabling them to converse with the very essence of the woods, a new and unsettling challenge abruptly manifested itself. They stumbled upon a somber, silent clearing where the once vibrant, towering trees stood withered and tragically gray, their leaves crumbling to dry ash as they fell silently to the blighted ground. A palpable, intensely chilling aura permeated the very air, sucking the warmth and life from everything around them, and the sprites, usually so serene and playful, darted about frantically, their melodic chimes now a discordant, high-pitched chorus of fear and profound alarm. It quickly became chillingly evident that this devastating blight was the malicious handiwork of Madame Cracker, a reclusive and notoriously malevolent witch known throughout all of Eldoria for her dark, corrupting magic and her cruel, sadistic penchant for despoiling and twisting the natural world. Her presence here was a desecration. Without so much as a warning, a gnarled, skeletal hand, visibly twisted with dark, pulsing magic, shot out with terrifying speed from behind the decaying, blighted trunk of a massive, ancient oak. It clamped around Astra's slender ankle with surprising, bone-crushing force, dragging her inexorably, silently, towards a shadowy, pulsating pool of black, viscous liquid that seemed to actively devour the light and hope around it. Astra! James roared, his heart seizing with a cold, paralyzing wave of terror. His mind, usually so quick, raced frantically, recalling the countless times Astra's quiet brilliance, her keen intellect, and her steady courage had saved them all from peril. This time, the stakes were higher. Without a second's hesitation, fueled by a surge of desperate resolve, Lily unleashed a blinding burst of her signature fiery charm, its brilliant light instantly illuminating Madame Cracker, whose face was a mask of wicked glee, grotesquely contorted by the sheer exertion of her vile, dark spell. Caliban, his mind a whirlwind of strategic calculations even in the face of imminent danger, swiftly conjured a shimmering rope of pure, luminous light that snaked with impossible speed around Astra's struggling waist, pulling her back with immense force even as Madame Cracker shrieked with frustrated rage, tightening her vile, unyielding grip. Sir Duke, ever the embodiment of direct, powerful action, unleashed a mighty, focused gust of wind, a concentrated blast of air aimed directly at the cackling witch, momentarily disrupting her malevolent hold and forcing her to stumble. It was a desperate, harrowing struggle for survival, a ferocious clash between the burgeoning light of their unbreakable friendship and the ancient, corrupting darkness of Madame Cracker's magic. But their combined, synchronized efforts, fueled by their profound, strengthening bond and their newfound, intimate understanding of the woods' very life force, proved to be a formidable, unstoppable force. Just as Astra's form began to waver, on the perilous verge of being fully consumed by the shadowy, sentient pool, James, remembering a vital, whispered lesson from the sprites about a plant's inherent, resilient, restorative energy, channeled a powerful, surging wave of pure, vibrant magic directly into the blighted ground beneath the witch's feet. Roots, thick and strong as ironwood, erupted violently from the earth, coiling with incredible speed around Madame Cracker and binding her securely, forcing her to release Astra. The witch shrieked, a guttural sound of impotent rage and disbelief, her dark power momentarily nullified by the raw, restorative force of the awakening, indignant forest. As the oppressive, suffocating shadow lifted and the immediate threat finally subsided, the friends immediately rushed to Astra, whose face was pale but whose spirit remained bravely unbroken. Slowly, almost miraculously, the blighted clearing began to regain its natural, vibrant color as the pervasive, healing magic of the forest began its slow, deliberate process of mending itself, weaving life back into the damaged land. With Madame Cracker subdued, defeated, and her corrupting dark influence purged from the sacred grove, they continued their profound journey, their determination unwavering. Further into their profound exploration of the Whispering Woods, now exhausted but even more emboldened by their recent, hard-won victory, they discovered a hidden, ethereal grove. It was bathed in a breathtaking, otherworldly, iridescent light that seemed to emanate directly from the very air itself, shimmering with unseen energies. Here, nestled among exotic flowers that glowed with an inner luminescence, casting gentle, pulsating shadows, was a shimmering, delicate nest of fairies, their gossamer wings sparkling like countless fragments of a shattered rainbow, moving with an impossible, almost liquid grace. These were not the playful, mischievous sprites they had befriended, but ancient, powerful beings of pure magic and radiant light, exuding an aura of timeless wisdom. Grateful for James and his friends' courageous and selfless intervention against Madame Cracker, and profoundly impressed by their deep respect for the intrinsic, sacred sanctity of the forest and its creatures, the fairies approached them, offering a profound, life-altering gift. With a gentle, knowing touch, their tiny hands radiating warmth and light, the fairies bestowed upon each of the friends the exhilarating and wondrous power of flight. A breathtaking surge of pure, exhilarating energy coursed through their veins, lifting them with an effortless, almost dreamlike grace. As they leapt into the air, a collective gasp of awe escaping their lips, they found themselves soaring weightlessly above the towering tree line, the vast, sprawling expanse of the Whispering Woods stretching out beneath them like a verdant, living tapestry, pulsating with unseen life. They glided effortlessly among the soft, billowy clouds, feeling the exhilarating rush of the wind through their hair, tasting the pure air on their tongues, their perspective on the vast, magical land of Eldoria forever changed by this newfound freedom and elevation. They soared for hours, marveling at the intricate patterns of the forest, the winding rivers like silver ribbons, and the distant, majestic peaks of the Whisperwind Mountains. This new ability was not just a convenience, it was a profound spiritual experience, connecting them to the very currents of the sky. Their eventual return to Eldergrove was met with resounding cheers and triumphant applause, a spontaneous celebration from their fellow students and professors. James and his friends were celebrated not only for their unwavering bravery in the face of grave danger and their profound wisdom in understanding the forest's language, but also for their incredible new, awe-inspiring abilities. They generously shared their hard-won knowledge of plant whispering, detailing the intricate communication they had learned, recounted their breathtaking aerial adventures with vivid enthusiasm, and, most importantly, imparted the vital, profound lessons they had learned about the intrinsic, delicate interconnectedness of all living things within the vast, magical world of Eldoria. The Whispering Woods had tested their resolve, confronted them with formidable, soul-testing threats, and ultimately, transformed them in ways they had never dared to imagine, etching yet another unforgettable, luminous chapter into the ever-growing chronicles of James Potter and his extraordinary companions, a testament to their courage, their bond, and the endless wonders of magic. As the days turned into weeks, James and his friends found themselves increasingly drawn back to the Whispering Woods. The allure of the forest was not just in its mysteries and magic, but in the profound sense of purpose and belonging they felt within its verdant embrace. They began to spend more time there, often staying for extended periods, delving deeper into the secrets of plant communication and the ancient wisdom of the forest. One day, while exploring a particularly dense part of the woods, they stumbled upon a hidden glade. In the center stood an ancient, towering tree, its trunk twisted and gnarled with age, and its leaves shimmering with a soft, ethereal glow. As they approached, they felt a profound, almost reverential energy emanating from the tree, as if it were the heart of the forest itself. The sprites, who had become their constant companions, fluttered around the tree with a sense of awe and respect, their chimes taking on a more solemn, almost reverent tone. "This is the elder tree," Professor Elowin whispered, her voice filled with a mix of reverence and caution. "It is said to be the oldest and wisest being in the Whispering Woods. Legend has it that it holds the collective memory and knowledge of the forest, stretching back to the very dawn of Eldoria." Intrigued and a bit nervous, the friends approached the elder tree, their steps slow and deliberate. As they neared, the tree seemed to respond, its leaves rustling gently and its glow intensifying. Suddenly, a vision appeared before them, shimmering in the air like a hologram. It was a scene from the distant past, showing the Whispering Woods as a young, vibrant forest, teeming with life and magic. They watched as the forest grew and evolved, witnessing key moments in Eldoria's history, from the rise and fall of ancient civilizations to the great magical wars that had shaped the land. The vision shifted, and they found themselves in a different time, standing in the same glade but with the forest in a state of decay. The trees were withered, the air thick with a sense of despair, and the once vibrant colors had faded to a dull, lifeless gray. In the distance, they saw a figure, cloaked and hooded, performing a dark ritual, draining the life force from the very heart of the woods. "Who is that?" James asked, his voice barely above a whisper. Professor Elowen's face paled. "That is Moros, the Shadow Weaver. He was a powerful sorcerer who sought to control the very essence of magic itself. His actions nearly destroyed the Whispering Woods and plunged Eldoria into a dark age." The vision changed again, showing the forest slowly recovering, its colors returning and its life force renewing. They saw figures, ancient and wise, tending to the woods, their magic weaving a tapestry of healing and renewal. The sprites, in their vision, were more numerous and more radiant, their chimes a symphony of joy and celebration. "These are the guardians of the woods," Professor Elowen explained. "They have protected and nurtured the forest for centuries, ensuring its survival and its magic." As the vision faded, the friends found themselves back in the present, standing before the elder tree. They felt a profound sense of connection to the forest, a deep understanding of its history and its struggles. The tree seemed to nod, its leaves rustling in a gentle breeze, as if acknowledging their newfound knowledge and their role in its ongoing story. Inspired by their encounter with the elder tree, James and his friends redoubled their efforts to protect and preserve the Whispering Woods. They worked tirelessly to spread their knowledge of plant whispering, teaching others the importance of respecting and understanding the natural world. They also began to document the forest's history and its magical properties, creating a comprehensive archive that would serve as a guide for future generations of wizards and witches. Their dedication did not go unnoticed. The fairies, impressed by their commitment and their growing wisdom, bestowed upon them an even greater gift. They were granted the ability to communicate directly with the elder tree, allowing them to tap into its vast reservoir of knowledge and wisdom whenever they needed guidance or insight. With this newfound connection, James and his friends embarked on even greater adventures, using their knowledge of the Whispering Woods to solve mysteries, unravel ancient riddles, and protect the magical world from new and emerging threats. Their bond grew stronger, their magic more powerful, and their legend spread far and wide, inspiring others to follow in their footsteps and to cherish the wonders of the natural world. As they stood once more in the heart of the Whispering Woods, surrounded by the ancient trees and the ethereal glow of the sprites, James Potter and his friends knew that their journey was far from over. The forest, with its endless mysteries and its timeless wisdom, would always be a part of them, guiding them and nurturing them as they continued to explore the vast, magical realm of Eldoria. And so, with hearts full of wonder and spirits unbroken, they stepped forward into the unknown, ready to face whatever challenges and adventures lay ahead, secure in the knowledge that they were not alone, for they carried the very essence of the Whispering Woods within them.